Monsieur, I am Hercule.
I know who you are, Monsieur Poirot. What do you want?
Answers to a simple question or two.
All right, but quickly. My wife is quite ill. I would like to stay by her side.
I promise. First of all, I imagine you know about the murder.
Of course. The Countess is terribly distressed.
Your full name?
Rodolphe Adreny.
Your home is?
Budapest.
And how do you come to be aboard the Orient Express?
I am a Hungarian diplomat. My family has represented our homeland since the revolution from the Soviet Union in 1956. I was on my country's business in Istanbul. Business which I cannot discuss.
And your wife often accompanies you on your diplomatic missions?
Yes, and why not? Was there anything else you wanted to know?
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. Can you tell me how you spent last night?
I was in our compartment with my wife. She went to bed early. I played a video game on my phone. Around 11 o'clock in the evening, my wife woke up and couldn't get back to sleep. She took a sleeping pill. As for me, I went to bed soon after that and slept straight through until morning.
Have you ever been to the United States?
I was posted to the Hungarian embassy in Washington for a year.
You knew perhaps the Armstrong family.
Armstrong? It is difficult to recall. One meets so many people.
It was the kidnapping of a child, a very sad affair. The culprit was the man on this train who called himself Ratchet, the one who was murdered last night.
Indeed. It sounds like justice finally caught up with him.
Thank you for your time. Now, I'd like to speak to your wife, if you don't mind.
It's impossible. As I told you, my wife is very ill. Thank you, and good luck with the investigation.
Eh bien, the good Count does not appear to want me to talk to his wife. Madame Hubbard, may I ask you a question or two? It won't take long.
Anything I can do to help?
Have you misplaced a handkerchief recently?
No, I don't think so. Why?
We found a handkerchief embroidered with the letter H, so I thought it might have been yours.
I'm sorry, but it's not. It may belong to Miss Schmidt, Princess Dragomirov's lady's maid. I believe her first name is Hildegard.
It is a possibility. Anyone could be lying, of course. I thank you, madame.
Hello. Can I do something for you?
Hello, Monsieur Hardman, I believe. You have heard of the murder?
Cyrus Hardman. Yes, and the fact that there's been a murder is all over the train.
You do not seem very concerned about it, monsieur.
It's not the first murder I've run across.
I had no idea the selling of toys was so dangerous. I did overhear you mention at dinner that this is your profession.
Toy salesman is a cover. I'm a private detective, just like you, from the U.S.
I must admit I'm not right this time. That was easy. I did not expect to find another detective on this train.
I just finished a job in Istanbul when I received an email from Ratchet. He hired me to protect him.
Something you failed to do.
I'm not happy about that. He'd received some threatening letters. I was supposed to watch his back, and yeah, something I failed to do. But he seemed to think he was in more danger when he left the train.
He was traveling to Paris?
I assume so, but I'm not entirely sure.
Can anyone on this train confirm your identity?
Yeah, that McQueen kid. Ratchet's secretary.
Were you on duty last night?
You bet. I kept my door open a crack and I watched all night. No one entered that car who didn't belong there.
Did you see anything in particular?
The conductor, Michelle, he was there most of the time too, except for 15 minutes or so after we left Vinkovsky. He must have answered a call from Ratchet's room, then he was absent again for a while around 1 a.m. After that, he didn't move until 5.
Monsieur Hardman, have you heard of the Armstrong case?
Armstrong? The kidnapping 3 or 4 years ago? Who hasn't? Why?
Ratchet's real name was Cassetti. I have reason to believe he was the kidnapper.
What? He killed that little girl? No, I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have taken the job.
Do you have any idea who was behind the threatening letters?
I don't know his name, but Ratchet told me he was a small man. Dark hair, with a womanish kind of voice.
Oh, thank you for your help. Is this handkerchief embroidered with an H yours?
Do I look like the kind of guy who would use a handkerchief like that?
Thank you for answering my questions, Monsieur Hardman.
Listen, Poirot. I know I fell down on the job, but if you need help, any at all, let me know. I'd like to make it right.
Wow. It has been a while since I have seen one of those.
I am not prepared to receive anyone. Come back later.
Very well, madam. I'll come back later. But you will need to speak to me.
I am not prepared to...
Very well.
So, my friend, have you finished your investigation?
No, but I have managed to solve a few mysteries.
Okay. I stay here to watch this young lady.
Excuse me, Doctor. May I ask you a question?
Anything that can help the investigation, Mr. Poirot.
I wanted to know what your first name is, Doctor.
My name is Robert. Why?
To find out if the handkerchief embroidered with an H could have been yours.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Poirot. Cloth handkerchiefs are a playground for viruses. I would not touch one.
So, okay.
I hope your investigation is going well, Mr. Poirot.
Ah, Monsieur McQueen, may I ask you a question?
Anything I can do to help, Mr. Poirot?
This handkerchief embroidered with an H, is it yours?
No, I don't use cloth handkerchiefs.
Thank you. I won't bother you anymore.
I am not
Very well. Monsieur, if I am to catch this murderer, I will need your help.
My help? I am at your service, Poirot.
You are very protective of your wife, Count Andrény.
Does that surprise you? Her vertigo can be very dangerous.
I believe there are many kinds of vertigo.
If you don't mind, I'd rather talk to a doctor, not a detective, if you'd excuse me.
Monsieur,
My help?
you are obviously a devoted husband, Count Andrény.
My wife means the world to me. There were questions in Budapest about a Hungarian diplomat marrying an American woman.
It did not deter you.
I would have given up my position for her. I would think it is universal. Are you married, Mr. Poirot?
No, I fear marriage is not for me. But her condition, is it very grave?
She is suffering a bout of vertigo. You understand? The room spins.
I think Dr. Constantine could help your wife.
There is a doctor on this train? I did not know. Where is this doctor?
I think Dr. Constantine is in the lounge car. If not, perhaps the conductor can tell you where he is.
Very well, I will find him. Thank you very much.
Forgive me for intruding, madame. I am Hercule Poirot.
I know who you are, Mr. Poirot. I overheard you send my husband on a wild goose chase.
Your husband cares for you greatly, madame. I apologize for exploiting that fact. But the situation is urgent, and I need to ask you a few questions.
Apology accepted. I realize you must speak to everyone. This horrendous murder. It's very upsetting.
That is a beautiful music box.
Please don't touch the music box. It's a fragile family heirloom.
Your accent, is it American? Boston, perhaps?
You have a good ear, Mr. Poirot. Yes. Born and raised in what we call the Back Bay.
Are you in the diplomatic service like your husband?
No, not officially. I was still in college when I met Rudy 2 years ago. I keep myself busy handling his scheduling, travel, appointments.
Ah, what is the saying? Behind every great man there is a great woman.
That was the saying. Today one might reverse the sentiment as well, don't you think?
Of course, I stand corrected. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. I do not think that's the right answer. No, not good. My little gray cells did not let me down. A handkerchief embroidered with an H was found at the crime scene. By any chance, does your first name begin with an H?
No, my first name is Elena, with an E.
Can you tell me what you did last night?
Well, my husband and I went to dinner. Then we came back here. We went to bed around 10 o'clock. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't, because of the shaking of the train. I suffer from vertigo. I finally took a sleeping pill, and that did the trick.
When did the train's motion prevent you from sleeping?
Between midnight and 2 a.m. I know because I must have looked at my watch about 10 times.
I see. Come now, Countess. You are not telling me the truth.
Why do you say that?
The train stopped at 12:30 a.m. due to snow, so there was no shaking of the train. But you told me that it was the shaking that prevented you from sleeping.
I don't know, you're confusing me. My vertigo.
Madame, a man died last night. You can't talk nonsense just because you're sick. You are hiding something from me.
How dare you? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to find my husband.
That was unkind, I know, but my strategy worked. I can now inspect this room in peace.